From the mind of Mark Yoshimoto Nemkov.
All right, I'm calling an audible. The chain is changing, and I think some of you are going to really appreciate this. But first and foremost, huge thanks to Rick Malloy for his thank you video. I am so deeply flattered by this. And what I really love about this is not only he seems like such a cool guy, and his space looks really amazing. It's really well done, right? But I love the fact that he refers to the chain as a stack. How great is that, right? Because when you look at the plugins, it does look like a stack more than a chain, right? A chain feels like restrictive, right? But a stack grows to the sky. A stack reminds me of stacks of cash, and I hope you're all making stacks of cash with your UAD plugins. So let's get back here. So the chain is a-changing. It's a stack. The stack is now. The Oxford Dynamic EQ is gone. Now let me explain this for a second. I know some of you have had issues with the Oxford Dynamic EQ in the stack. And that's understandable. It's a DSP monster. And also, you know what? To tell you the truth, I mean, I don't even know how to use this thing. I just kind of push the dots around until I get a sound I like. So taking the Oxford out really was something that Mike had suggested. He was having a lot of trouble with it. It was crashing his entire stack. And so he asked me, he was like, is there a way to sub out the Oxford Dynamic EQ for something else that would impart the same thing it does? He likes what it does. I like what it does. But he was tired of fiddling with it and, not getting a good result. So I was like, okay, let me look at it. And as I thought about what the Oxford Dynamic EQ was doing in the stack, it occurred to me that what I was trying to do is I was trying to make it sound. I was trying to make the Neve 88RS sound like an SSL. I was trying to kind of contour the low end a little bit more, and I was really trying to add a little bit of gloss on top. So let me show you exactly what I mean. So you are listening to the SSL Precision De-esser, CVOX, and the Neve DFC. So let's swap these out. All right, so with the Neve 88RS in the chain and the Oxford Dynamic EQ enabled, right? What you're getting is something that I feel is extremely similar. This is extremely similar to, again, the SSL and the Oxford Dynamic EQ out of the chain. So again, we take the Oxford out, and we have the SSL in, and this is what we get. And I really like this, and I do like the fact that I'm getting really what I wanted out of it. And I could kind of add a little bit more gloss up here if I wanted to. A little bit more 9 would add a little touch more on there. So I feel like you are able to, because the SSL EQ, of course, is very musical. I think the SSL EQ is definitely better than the Neve 88RS EQ, and the dynamic section also I think is better. So again, I like this sound, and we're changing the stack. And if you've been around watching this channel long enough, you know this is part of the evolution of sound here. So we are now changing. The Holy Trinity is now the dynamic duo. So now we have the CVOX and the DFC and the Oxford Dynamic EQ. Well, will be used with some microphones and not with others. But this really is a stack that I believe in. So here it is. The Oxford Dynamic EQ is going bye-bye. All right, what do you think? Are you having issues with the Oxford Dynamic EQ? I know Mario was having issues with the Oxford Dynamic EQ. So try this instead, all right? SSL will tame that low end, and it'll give you a nice push, and it'll give you a nice gloss on the top end, which I think is really nice for VO, especially for commercials. And the DFC just adds that beautiful glue. So what do you think? Let me know in the comments. All right, until next time, this is Mark Yoshimoto Nemkov, fading to black.